What's going on, everyone? This is Zach with StrictlyShisha, and I am doing another Tangiers review for you guys. And obviously this review is due to the generosity of Frank Simmons and the guys over at Tangiers, so I appreciate you guys sending me over a flavor that I'm not very familiar with to test out for you guys. The flavor I'm talking about today is Tangiers Koke, K-O-K-E. And my current Tangiers setup of choice is using an 80 feet bowl, using foil, and you're using the Provost heat management system with an assortment of different coals inside. And this is a setup that I've seen a lot of other reviewers use, including Owen and Christian. They get really good results from it, as I am today in all my other Tangiers sessions. But one thing I want to note about this flavor, it is a little heat sensitive, and of all my testings, I've burned a few, gotten really warm smokes, so I pack this a lot differently than I typically pack Tangiers. I would consider this an extreme underpack, and I'll show you guys a picture now, but it's well below my char line and where I typically pack Tangiers. But this is probably one of the best test sessions that I've had with this flavor, so I'll talk to you guys today about it. So Tangiers Koke, obviously it's Tangiers, so it looks like Tangiers, it's cut like Tangiers. We can expect it because it's Tangiers. So smell on this flavor. Wow, it's a very complex smell, and you could probably expect that from the flavor Koke. The drink Coke is a very complex drink. Obviously, if we knew what was in it, we'd all be millionaires and billionaires like Coca-Cola, but I don't personally know what's in Coke. Even in all my research, no one can definitively say any key ingredients in Coke, other than the fact there's probably a spice blend, there's some sort of citrus in there, and there is probably some vanilla. So let me get into the smell of this. This to me smells like a flat Coke. Like if you left Coke out for a few days, this is exactly what the smell is. It's a very accurate representation of what I remember Coke to be. I don't drink a lot of Coke. My mom was a dentist growing up, so we weren't allowed to drink sugary sodas, and even today, that's kind of stuck with me. I don't personally drink Coke, but I know what Coke tastes like, and that smells exactly like what Coke would taste like. So let's see how it translates to the smoke. Even with a large gap between the tobacco and the foil, and only using 3 titanium flats, and the vent-ish things on this Provost are open, still getting very good cloud output, and I'm enjoying the clouds on this. And like I said, this is one of the best performing sessions of this flavor that I've had thus far. And I've smoked this in a lot of different bowls, but this is the setup where I've seen the best results. So the flavor on this, just as you can remember when drinking that sip of Coke, you get that initial like zinginess, that citrusy, and it's mellowed out by a sweetness and even a vanilla in there. In the background, right on the end, you do get that spice blend. And that's exactly what I'm getting from this. But the sweetness in there is not equivalent to what I get with Coke, like that high fructose corn syrup like sweetness. It's more on the natural side. I'd say this is more of like an organic off-brand Coke, like a Big K or a Cola or whatever other brands they make. It's not exactly Coca-Cola, but it is very, very close. And this is probably the most natural, not overly sweet Coke representation that I've ever tried. The other Coke flavor I had was by Adalia, and that was very, very sweet. That almost reminded me of that gritty feeling like when you drink Coke and your teeth are all kind of like, eh. This is almost that same feeling, but without that extra sweetness in there. Very natural, very mellow. You're not getting a lot of tobacco notes in this, and I like that. I'm assuming this is Nor by the cut, but there's no tobacco flavoring in this, which makes it really nice. And I'm noticing that with Tangiers a lot. A lot of their new flavors have really mellowed down on the tobacco note, or they've just made really strong flavor strengths. So this is a flavor I probably wouldn't order again just because I'm not a Coke fan. Like I said, I just never developed a taste for it. But I am probably gonna smoke the rest of this and mix it with some other great Coke renditions, like a cherry Coke, Coke with lime and lemon. And I've seen a lot of other people online doing this, and they got really, really good results. One thing I heard that was really cool, Owen did a horchata and Coke mix, and he said it was magical. And I can see that being really nice, especially with another blend in there to smooth it out, a creaminess. It would really complement this flavor really well. So if you guys are interested in Coke and you love Coke and you're a Coke addict, maybe try this out. But if you're not a big Coke fan like me, maybe this isn't your cup of tea or your drink of choice. But thank you again, Tangiers, for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. It was a cool experience to try out a flavor that I typically wouldn't order by myself and just give you guys my thoughts on it. Like I said, if you are gonna try it though, keep the heat low. I really babied this. I mean, I really warmed it up slowly, and I was able to overcome that heat sensitivity Don't just treat it like every other Tangiers flavor, every other tobacco, and just load on the heat and expect it to perform. Keep that in mind that it is heat sensitive. But thank you guys very much for watching as always. I appreciate it, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye guys.